Assalamualaikum. This week we are going to learn a new chapter that is stocks valuation. Alright, so let's have a look at the valuation of stock using discounted dividend model DDM or the dividend discounted model DDM. Okay, so there are four cases, in order for us to calculate the PO or the intrinsic value of the stock. Okay, so the PO here, PO is the price of a common share today, or also known as the intrinsic value. Okay, IV, intrinsic value. So before we go further, what is the intrinsic value? So this is the meaning of the intrinsic value. Okay, the maximum value that the investor is willing to pay for the stock. Alright, okay. So let's have a look at the case number 1. Okay, to calculate the PO for the case of shares with no growth. Okay, no growth in dividends. No growth in dividends, also known as the perpetual model. Alright, so to calculate the intrinsic value of this stock, okay, is equal to D dividend over K. Okay, K is the required rate of return here. Okay, D is the annual dividend. Alright, so example, what is the price of a common stock with a constant dividends of RM1.70? If the investor requires a return of 16%, so the 16% is the K from its investment. So to calculate the intrinsic value or the PO of this stock is equal to D, annual dividend, divided by K, the required rate of return, which is the annual dividend RM1.70 divided 0.16, the K, the required rate of return. So the intrinsic value of this stock is RM10.63. Okay, so when it is the RM10.60, the intrinsic value or the maximum value that the investor is willing to pay for this stock. So if let's say, okay, if the market price today is RM9, okay, so we are going to buy. So because ni kita punya benchmark ni ataupun kita punya limit lah tadi, the maximum value that we are willing to pay for this stock is RM10.63, and if the market value today of this stock RM9, so we buy. So if the market price is, let's say, RM11, dah lebih daripada yang kita set dekat sini, so don't buy. Okay, don't buy. Okay, so that's why we calculate the intrinsic value tu. Kita nak tengok kita punya maximum value that we are willing to pay for the stock. Okay, so for the case number 2, the uneven dividend payment or the basic valuation model. So to calculate the PO, the intrinsic value for this stock is equal to D1 over 1 plus K power of 1 plus D2 over 1 plus K power of 2 plus ... until Dn. Okay, whatever year, Dn, okay, Dn over 1 plus K power of n and then plus Pn. Pn is the price of year n over 1 plus K power of n. Alright. So where the PO ni is the present value ataupun the intrinsic value of the stock, Pn is the selling or the market price at year end. Okay, and then the D is the dividend lah. Okay, for each year, and then K is the required rate of return. Okay, so any investor is considering of buying ABC shares that will pay dividends of RM1 in year 1. Okay, RM1.12 in year 2, RM1.20 in year 3. So this is the dividend. So D1 mentioned RM1.12. Okay, D2 RM1.20, and then the D3 given. Oh, sorry. Terbalik. Ni RM1.12. Okay. RM1 D1, RM1.12, D2, and then D3 RM1.20. Okay, and then he expect to sell the share for RM50.20. So this is the P3. P3 because of what? Because he kata after holding for 3 years. So that's why kita tahu itu adalah P3. Okay, so P3 is RM15.20. Alright, so what would be the buying price of the share today? So today, maksudnya kita nak calculate the PO. If he requires a 12% rate of return, so this one is the K. Alright, so given all the information, so now we can calculate the intrinsic value of the stock. Okay, using the formula of this one. Okay. Alright, so D1 over 1 plus K power of 1 plus D2 over 1 plus K power of 2 plus D3 over 1 plus K power of 3 and then plus up to P3 sebab dia bagi kita sampai price year 3 tadi kan. So the D pun yang kita nak calculate sampai D3 lah. Okay, so ini kita masukkan saja the the dividend, the figure into the formula. Okay, so sini saya nak tunjuk kenapa jadi over 1.12 is because 1 plus K kan. 1 plus K, 1 plus 0.12. So that's why here is 1.12. Okay, power of 1, power of 2, power of 3 and then power of, sampai power of 3 saja. Okay, so the PO is RM30.46. Alright, so here, if the market price today, is, let's say lah, RM 12 ringgit. So we are going to buy, okay, because lower than the maximum value that we are willing to pay. So if the market price today is, let's say, RM 15 ringgit, more than the maximum value that we are willing to pay, so we don't buy this one, okay? Don't buy. Alright, and the next case number 3. Is the shares with the constant growth dividend or the Gordon model. Okay, the formula maintain the same. Okay, tapi because of the constant growth dividend, here ada growth of in dividend tapi constant. Okay, so the formula you can use this one. Okay, PO is equal to D1 over K minus G. Ataupun bila kalau dia tak bagi D1 is not provided, so we can calculate the D1 by DO time 1 plus G power of 1 over K minus G. Alright, so that's how we calculate the D1. Okay, so example, a company had just paid dividends of RM1.82. Okay, so because dia kata kat sini had just paid, so ini nak kata kat sini dia bagi inform of the DO lah ni. Okay, RM1.82 to its shareholder and expect that the growth rate of dividend remains constant. So this is the G. Okay, the growth constant at 10%. Okay, so we know that this is case number 3 lah, constant growth. Alright. What should be the price today if the shareholder required rate of return is 16%? So this is the K. Alright. Okay, so to calculate the PO is equal to D1. Okay, D1 over K minus G or DO time 1 plus G power of 1. So because of dia bagi kita tadi DO, so we are going to use this one lah. Okay, so the DO dia bagi kita RM1.82 time 1 plus G, 1 plus G 10%, dia mention dekat sini 10%. So 1 plus 0.10 divided by K 16 or 0.16 minus G 0.10. Okay, so then we will get the intrinsic value of this stock today is RM33.37. Alright. Okay, so the general formula to find the price of common stock at period end, kita nak cari PN, okay, is ni PN is equal to D ni DN plus 1 over K minus G or DO, okay, time 1 plus G power of N plus 1 over K minus G. Okay, so now using the same example, calculate the price of common share 5 years from now if the shareholder still insists on the same rate of return. Okay, they should calculate you calculate the P5 ni P5 and also the P10. Okay, so kita akan tunjuk satulah P5. Okay, so when P5 kita akan nak D6, okay, because of N plus 1. 5 tadi 5 plus 1 6. So we want D6 over K minus G. Alright. Okay, so RM1.82 the PO time 1 plus G 0.10 power of 6. 6 ni because of 6 plus 1 tadi kan. Okay, sorry. N plus 1, 5 plus 1 jadi 6. Over K 0.16 minus 0.10 G. So the P5 is RM53.74. Okay. Alright, so for the P10, okay, you can try it by your own. And then we are going to look at the case number 4, the last case. Okay, case shares with uneven dividend growth. Ini ada dividend growth tapi berbeza. okay, ataupun the modified growth model. So this model is used when the dividends paid at a different rate to find the current share price or value ataupun the intrinsic value. So are the 3 steps to be followed. Alright, so number 1, find the dividends to be received. Dividend to be received each year in the future before, ni dia punya, hingga before the first growth rate change. Before okay. And then number 2, find the future price, maksudnya PN, future price ni, okay, PN just before the growth rate change. Nak sama juga. Yang ni dia nak before G change. So kalau dia kata G change at year 4, so kita akan cari PN tu year 3 lah, P3. Okay. And then the last one, find the present value, PO, ataupun the intrinsic value of the share. Okay, so now the example here. A company paid an annual dividend RM4 per share last year. Okay, dah terang kat sini last year. So itu adalah DO. It is expected that the dividends will grow at annual rate of 20% for the next 3 years and then drop to a normal growth of 6%. Okay. So the G for year 1 up to year 3 is 20%. Okay. And then G untuk year 4 is 6%. Okay. So the before the G change maksudnya berapa tu? G change at year 4 kan. So kita kena cari sampai P3 lah. Okay, assuming the required rate of return 16%. So this is K. Estimate the price of the share today. So follow the 3 steps. Okay. Alright, so we are going to do step number 1 first. Step 1. Okay, so the step 1, calculate the dividend each year. Okay, dividend each year. So dia bagi kat kita DO RM4. Okay, so kita nak calculate the D1 is equal to RM4 time 1 plus G. 1 plus G tadi 0.20 ni. G untuk year 1 sampai year 3 20% kan. Okay, so 0.20. So it is RM4.80. Okay, so the D2 is equal to RM4.80 time 1 plus G. G year 2 masih lagi 20%. So we are going to add 1 plus 0.20. So this one is equal to RM5.76. 76. Tu dia 5. Okay. 76. And then D3 is equal to RM5.76 time 1 plus G, 1 plus 0.2. Okay, so this one is RM6.91. Okay, so ini before the G change. Before the G change. Alright, so the D4, kenapa we calculate the D4? Sebab kita nak calculate the PN nanti. PN kan PN kan DN plus 1 kan. 3 plus 1 is equal to D4 kan. So kita calculate siap-siap. So the D4 is equal to D3. Okay, D3 time 1 plus G. Okay, so here now we are going to use the new G. Okay, sebab G year 4 tadi dah berubah dah ni. Nampak tak? Year 4 tadi 6%, no longer 20%. Okay, so kita nak calculate the D4 is equal to RM6.91 plus 1 plus G 0.06 lah. Okay, the new G, so is equal to RM7.32. Okay, and then next, the step 2 is to find PN. Find PN before G change. Okay, so before the G change tadi, G change at year 4. So kita nak cari P3. Okay, P3 lah kita nak cari. So P3, we know that the formula of P3 is equal to D4 over K minus G. So that's why kita dah calculate siap-siap D4 kat sini tadi. Alright, so sebab kita nak guna formula ni. Okay, next, so D4 kita dah kira tadi dapat RM7.32 over K. Okay, K given 16% or 0.16 minus G 0.06. So ini pun the new G lah. New G. Okay, new G. So you akan dapat the P3 is equal to RM RM73.20. Okay, and then the last step. Okay, the last step is step 3. Step 3, find PO. Okay, find PO. So, PO, kita nak guna formula yang panjang tadi tu. Formula biasa tadi, D1 over 1 plus K power of 1 plus D2 over 1 plus K power of 2 plus sampailah Dn over 1 plus K power of n plus Pn over 1 plus K power of n. So, because of yang tadi ni, n ni tadi kan year 3 kan. So, kita D3 and P pun P3 lah. Okay. So, the PO is equal to, so D1 tadi RM4.80. Dekat sini yang kita kira mula-mula tadi tu. Yang ni. Kan D1 ni. Okay. So, PO is equal to D1 RM4.80 divided by 1 plus K. So, K given 16% or 1 plus 1 plus 1/6. 1 plus K kan. 1 tambah 0.16. So, 1.16 lah. Okay, power of 1. Plus D2, RM5.76 over 1.16 power of 2. Plus D3, RM6.91 over 1.16 power of 3. Plus P3 yang kita kira tadi, RM73.20 divided by 1.16 power of 3. Okay, so when you work out this one, you will get PO is equal to RM59.74 RM. Okay. Alright, so that's all for this video. Thank you.